Hi everyone, it's so great to be here. My name is Zofia, and in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to talk about The Wizard of Oz, exploring features that uphold children's rights. I'm going to give a sneak peek into the way games meet children's rights. I want to start with a quick question. At this moment, which character from The Wizard of Oz do you find most relatable? You can share your answer in the chat. You don't have to tell us why, but it would be great if you do. Before we continue talking about Dorothy and her friends, you might be wondering, who am I? So, my name is Zofia, and you can get to know me by the games I play or played, and shape me as a gamer and as someone who researches games. I'm a learning experience designer. I teach UX for games, and I volunteer in D4CA, Designing for Children's Rights. Games are something I'm passionate about. I'm intrigued by the way they motivate people and how we can use them for positive impact. So let's start. And the first thing to do is talking about our players. Children's typically defined from the birth to 18 years old, exhibit distinct characteristics at different ages. Every child has rights, internationally recognized for ensuring dignity and equal opportunity, protected by legal instruments like the UN and federal laws. There are lots of rights. At the moment, we're going to focus on 4 specific rights represented by the character of the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy, the Woodman/Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow. Each one of them is missing something which will represent a different right. Let's start with the Scarecrow, who looks for a brain, which is taking me to the right to education. Children have the right to access quality education, to develop their full potential, and prepare for a meaningful life. Let me emphasize development, the word development, and add the word learning. It's tempting to talk about content when mentioning learning and development, but I don't want to talk about content. Education is far more than content. If you look at the flow theory of games, it's very similar to the process of good learning. If we want to create a good experience, we need to balance the level of challenge and the level of knowledge and abilities. In the middle, we have the process of practicing and adding skills. Let's explain this by example. Hospital Heat. This is a game about an intern who moves between medical departments. This game might look like a medical awareness game, but it's an exercise in time management. Every level has a timer and lots of choices to be made as long as the clock is running. And of course, you end one level, you continue to the next level, and it gets harder as you progress. As the character progresses, there are new skills to learn, you develop. So let's emphasize what we have here to support the right to education. We have progression by bars, by levels, we have choices, we have learning skills, and we have a match to the flow theory. And now we move on to the Woodman, looking for a heart, which symbolizes health. Right to health and healthcare. Children have the right to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health and access to healthcare services without discrimination. I don't know how many of you are aware that John Hanke designed Pokemon Go with health in mind, hoping to encourage exercise among users. So he used virtual Easter eggs. The player needs to catch, located in physical places, making people walk in strange places at odd hours. But researchers found that it helps for a short term. It did not become a behavioral change, unlike Just Dance Now, which has huge benefit according to researchers, from improving cardiovascular health, improved blood flow, better mood, lower stress, enhance self-confidence, and so on. So what is that? Why is Just Dance Now what is it in Just Dance Now compared to Pokemon Go? Based on what users said, says there is the sound. It's not just the music. Players also managing the feedback, super, and such as motivators. There is the movement inside closed places, group activity, fun to play with people, and competition. Now let's move on to the Cowardly Lion. Cowardly Lion is looking for courage, right to participation. Children have the right to express their opinion, be heard, and participate in decisions that affect them according to their age and maturity. So first of all, there is inclusivity. When kids see themselves in the game, it can lead to improved self-esteem, a stronger sense of community, and heightened empathy. This allows them to be confident and express themselves. In this example, you can see the diversity of characters in Toka Life world. It's relevant also for disabilities. Another example is again
Welcome to Kids Court, where everything unfair is finally brought to justice. All rise for the Honorable Judge Lexi. Do you want to settle a case or hear about previous trials?
Settle a case.
Prosecutor, please tell the court what happened.
Yeah, read my diary.
Kids Court was created for cases like this. Is the defendant present or absent?
Present.
Defendant, you're in trouble. What do you plead? Say guilty if you did it, or not guilty if you didn't.
Not guilty.
So this game allows them to express themselves by offering choices. In this game, in this example, Kids Court turns kids' argument into a game of playing court. Let's move on. What we saw for the right to participation, inclusivity and diversity, and allow choices. And finally, we have Dorothy. Dorothy is the right to privacy. Children have the right to privacy, and the personal information should be protected. Home is a safe, protected place where your privacy is a safeguard. Privacy is a significant issue, and I have a whole other talk about games and privacy. But one of the things important about privacy is that it's not only about keeping it, it's also about reflecting on what is being collected and done. And I want to show you the next example.
Meet Captain Safety. He's going to show us a little bit about Lego.com Kids Safety Policy. So when you move around Lego.com Kids, you leave little footprints, which help us to get to know you so we can show you things next time that we think you will find fun and interesting in the right language for you too. Now, we keep your footprints very safe and never show them to anyone else. We may also ask for your age or other details on Lego.com Kids, which help us give you a great experience. But we will never ask to use your real name when you're visiting us. We want to make sure that your real information stays private. And it's rather fun to make up your own name, isn't it? You might have also heard about cookies. These help us to remember all your details, so when you log in here, you can get on with liking, commenting, tracking your game scores, and stuff like that. This is all information we keep very safe because we take your privacy very seriously indeed, just like the captain. You can always find out what it is exactly that we know about you and your footprints and your cookies and tell us to change it or delete it. So if you want to know more about any of these things, you should talk to your parents and could even watch this video again with them. Right, Captain? Well, that's all from the captain for now, so remember to stay safe and have fun.
So the most important thing about privacy is how you reflect on what is going on. And I love this video because it does exactly that. It gives information which lead us to transparency, and it's simple, which is a challenge when it comes to children's. So that's it. In the very sneak peek, we looked at 4 different children's rights and examples for each one. It's just the tip of the iceberg. So a quick question to the end, to end with, which character from The Wizard of Oz do you relate and you want to know better now? I hope you found it relevant and useful. Thank you so much.
That's great. Thank you, Sophia. Can you get back on screen and turn on your mic?
It's an interesting experience to watch myself talking.
Interesting is, I don't know, I hate that personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting is a.
I'm trying to be
term.
positive.
So I think we have questions, and we have time for questions because the next speaker is sick. So we have a little bit of time, and we're gonna answer some questions. If you have some questions, you can ask them in the Q&A. I saw some people who are raising their hands. I also want to make sure we can accommodate for everyone. If it's difficult for you to type or it's complicated, I'm happy to let you ask your question verbally if you want to raise your hand now. But overall, it's easier for me to manage in the Q&A. And you can also say in the chat who you are identifying to in the Wizard of Oz. I'm also very personally interested into your work, Zofia. I should start my video, I'm sorry. Because of the ethical game conference I'm hosting soon. So children's rights, their privacy and their security, and them not being bombarded by also dark web and stuff like that is really important. Okay, so we have a question here from Paige, I think. So I'm going to allow you to talk so you can ask your question live. We cannot hear you, so I don't know if this is working. You need to unmute.
Also, you can ask me, you can contact me on LinkedIn and send me questions. I'll be happy to answer.
I'm not hearing Paige anymore, or I didn't hear Paige. And is there any questions that you can ask in the Q&A or maybe in the chats since we're here? Oh, okay. It was it's a Zoom hiccup. All right, no worries. Do we have any questions for Zofia?
All clear, yay!
It was very interesting. A lot of people were commenting. So I think if no one has a specific question for Zofia, you can take it either offline. I mean, on a different channel, let's say that on LinkedIn. You can also still ask your question in your Q&A, and Zofia, if she has the time, she can take a moment to answer in the Q&A. Thank you so much, Zofia, again for joining us and for your presentation.
Thank you so much.